Hey, welcome to the channel Your Class. I'm Zenith, and if you are new here, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss out on our fun lessons. This is a super exciting one. Today, we are diving into verbs. Verbs are the action packed heroes that make your sentences come alive. Whether you are just starting with English or looking to level up your skills, understanding verbs is a total game changer. In this video, we will break down what verbs are, how they work, and explore the different types. By then, you will be ready to take your language skills to the next level. There we go. Let's jump in. So, in today's video, we are going to break down everything you need to know about verbs. Here, what we will cover: introduction to verbs or definition, types of verbs or definitions, examples of verbs of definitions, how to use verbs of definition, practicing verbs of definition, fun fact about verbs, conclusion and recap, and much more. So make sure to subscribe for more cool lessons and leave a comment with your favorite verb. Let's break it down. Verbs of definition. Introduction to verbs of definition. Verbs of definition play a crucial role in language by providing clarity about the identity or nature of subject. They help us articulate ideas, ensuring effective communication. Understanding these verbs enhances our grasp of language structure and usage. So what are verbs? Verbs of definition are words that explain, clarify, or define the nature or identity of a subject. They are fundamental in constructing sentences that convey accurate meanings. Mastering these verbs allow us to communicate more effectively and precisely. In short, we can say a verb is a word that expresses an action, occurrence, or state of being. So let's focus on something that impacts everything we do: the importance of communication. Importance in communication. Verbs of definition is essential for enhancing clarity in our spoken and written language. They help us define our thoughts and the subject we discuss, leading to less ambiguity. Effective communication relies heavily on our ability to use these verbs accurately. In short, we can say verbs are essential for constructing sentences and conveying meaning. For example, action, run, jump, write. State of being: is, am, are. Now that we understand the basics, let's take a closer look at the various types of verbs of definition. Types of verbs of definition. There are various types of verbs that serve to define or clarify subjects. Understanding the different categories will help us select the verb that best conveys our intended meaning. This knowledge is vital for precise communication in both speaking and writing. Let me explain these two types of verbs in more detail. Number one, action verbs. These verbs show what the subject of the sentence is doing, either physically or mentally. An action verb can describe a physical action like running or jumping, or a mental action like thinking or dreaming. For example, physical action. These actions can be seen or physically observed. Examples include verbs like run, eat, jump, write, and sing. For example, she runs every morning. Here, runs shows a physical action. Now come to mental action. These actions involve thinking, feeling, or perceiving something. Examples include verbs like think, believe, remember, and dream. For example, he thinks about the problem. In this case, think represents a mental action. Number two, linking verbs. Linking verbs connect the subject of a sentence with the subject complement, which is usually a noun, pronoun, or adjective that describes or identifies the subject. Instead of showing action, linking verbs express a state of being or condition. The most common linking verb is to be. Am, is, are, was, were. These are be verbs. But other include verbs like seem, become, appear, feel, and taste. For example, he is a teacher. Here is links the subject he to the complement teacher. It doesn't show action, it tells us what the subject is, a teacher. Linking verbs don't show action, but instead they help to provide more information about the subject of the sentence by connecting it to a description or identification. Number three, auxiliary helping verbs. Auxiliary verbs are used alongside a main verb to help from different tenses, moods, voices, or to make a sentence negative or question. They don't carry meaning on their own but work with the main verb to give more information about the action, Some common words auxiliary verbs are be, have, and do. Example, she has finished her homework. Here, has is an auxiliary verb that helps from the present perfect tense. It works with the main verb finished to show that the action is completed in the past but relevant to the present. Now, number 4, modal verbs. Modal verbs are a specific type of auxiliary verb that expresses necessity, possibility, ability, permission, or obligation. They modify the meaning of the main verb to show how certain or likely something is, or to indicate the level of necessity or ability. Some common modal verbs are can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, and ought to. For example, you must complete the assignment. Here, must expresses necessity or obligation. It means that it's required for you to complete the assignment. Now let's break down the different verb forms and how they are used in various tenses. Number 1, base form. The base form of a verb is the simplest unconjugated form. It is used as a foundation for other verb forms and appears in the dictionary. For example, playing. This is the verb in its most basic form. Used in the present tense for most subjects. I play basketball every day and they play the piano. The past tense shows that the action took place in the past. Number 2, past tense. Regular verbs typically add ed to the base form, but irregular verbs have unique past tense form. For example, go becomes went. For example, regular form played. I played soccer yesterday. You can say past tense indicates action that happened in the past. Number 3, past participle. Past participle used in perfect tense, for example, has played. Past participle is used in perfect tenses: present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. It often looks the same as the past tense for regular verbs. But irregular verbs have their own distinct past participle. For example, played. He has played the game before. In this case, the past participle played is used with the auxiliary verb has to form the present perfect tense before present participle. The present participle ends in ing and is used in continuous progressive tenses to show actions that are ongoing or happening at the moment. It can also be used as a gerund, a noun form of a verb, or in participle phrases. For example, playing. She is playing soccer right now. Here is playing is in the present continuous tense showing an ongoing action. Quick recap: base form play, past tense played, past participle played, regular or present participle playing. Now let's dive into verb tenses and see how they help us describe when an action happens. There are several types of tenses in English and they tell us about the timing and nature of the action. Here's a breakdown. Number 1, present tense. The present tense describes actions happening now, or it can indicate general truths or habits. Simple present describes things that happen regularly, facts or general truth. For example, she writes every day. This indicates a habitual action that occurs regularly. Number 2, past tense describes completed action. The past tense is used to describe actions that are completed and happened before now. It's a way to talk about something that has already taken place. Simple past describes an action that occurred in the past and is finished. For example, she wrote a letter yesterday. Here, the action of writing happened and is now complete. Number 3, future tense describes action that will happen. The future tense describes an action that will happen in the future. For example, she will write a letter tomorrow. This shows that the action is expected to happen in the future. Number 4, perfect tenses. Perfect tenses describe actions that are completed relative to a certain time. They focus on the completion of an action and its relation to the present, past, or future. Present perfect describe an action that was completed at an unspecified time before now or has relevance to the present. For example, she has written 5 letters. They show the action was completed recently or at some point in the past and it is still relevant now. Continuous tenses indicate ongoing action. Continuous tenses describe actions that are ongoing or in progress at a particular time. They use the verb to be plus the present participle verb plus ing. Present continuous describe an action that is happening right now or around the present moment. For example, she is writing a letter. These show that the action is happening at the moment of speaking. Let's delve deeper into transitive verbs with a focus on how they require a direct object to complete the meaning of a sentence. Transitive verbs. Transitive verbs require a direct object to complete their meaning. As you pointed out, transitive verbs need a direct object to complete the action and give the sentence full meaning. Without the direct object, the sentence may feel incomplete or unclear. Examples include define and identify, which dictate what is being defined. For example, she bought a book. Transitive verb bought, direct object a book. The verb bought needs the object a book to complete the action. You can ask what did she buy? He defined the term defined. Direct object the term. The word defined needs the object the terms to make sense. You can ask what did he define the terms? The teacher identified the problem. Transitive verb identified, direct object the problem. The verb identified required the problem to answer the question what did she identify? The problem. So these verbs are essential for clear definition in sentences. Why transitive verbs are important for clear definitions? As I mentioned, transitive verbs like define and identify are essential in sentences where the action must be directed towards something. They allow for clearer communication because they tell us exactly what is being acted upon, leaving no ambiguity. Intransitive verbs are quite different from intransitive verbs in that they do not require a direct object to complete their meaning. These verbs can stand on their own and convey a complete thought. Intransitive verbs do not require a direct object, they stand on their own. For example, include, exist, and belong, which convey states or relationship. He slept peacefully. These verbs are useful for highlighting definition without needing additional context. In short, we can say they do not require a direct object to complete the sentence. They often describe action or state that don't affect anything or anyone directly. Convey states, conditions, or action that don't require an object. For example, he slept peacefully. In transitive verb slept, there's no direct object after the verb slept. The sentence is complete without needing anything else. You could ask, what did he sleep? There's no answer because slept doesn't need a direct object to make sense. The adverb peacefully simply describes how he slept. Okay, guys, today's video is going to be a bit lengthy, so we will continue in the next part. Stay tuned for more. Thank you. Bye bye.